after doing every nonsense, him over and above he lies it also. Hence, Kaurava, it comes as from the Kaurava side. So this is one way of looking at, and I am not the first person who did it. Basar did it long back in Urubanga, where finally Duryodhana is killed by hitting behind the belt. What could be worse than that? He is hit against the rules of Gadayud, is hit below the belt and killed.
So Anand, Ravana's perspective or Duryodhana's perspective, which your books bring about, have resonated with the readers. That's why your books are big success. So talking of the broader picture, this alternate narrative, why is it relevant in today's times? Why do you think so? Readers are liking it.
I am not saying only this narrative is relevant. I am just trying to put it back in the balance like how it was told earlier. So this, I grew up in a place which was, because of the accident of history, it was never invaded by anyone. So the Hinduism practice is very confident one. So Basa wrote it when the Hindus were very confident about debating it. So he could write from the alternate perspective. So I grew up from these kind of places where this was a part and parcel of learning the religion. So there used to be the traveling bards who will come, and two group will come. One will argue for Kaurava or Ravan. One will argue for Pandavas. In the next temple, they will switch and argue. That is a form of entertainment. So the idea was to make you think about what is dharma. So I have written like a lot of television series where the conventional way, Siya Ke Ram I wrote Sankat Mohan Mahabali Hanuman, I wrote Srimad Ramayan, which is happening here, which is totally seen from Ram's perspective. So you change the perspective of dharma changes. So I write from all sides. I am not saying that this is the right side, Kaurava side is the right side. It is about how the rishis had written. So they say Mahabharata, there are 4 versions which Vyasa had written, of which only one and the other one of Kaurava version, which is Ashwatthama Parva, is available. Only Ashwatthama Parva is available now. The others are gone. So there is even a version which comes as a references where the entire Mahabharata is told from the perspective of Drupada and Drishtadyumna. So if you think actual heroes are them, so I will tell that just to tell how many perspectives were there. Imagine this Mahabharata war. Drupada is a hero of the story. Drishtadyumna, Drupada is a hero of the story. Now let us imagine the Mahabharata like that. Drupada was humiliated. So then he goes and does this Havan, and from that Yajnaseni, this Drishtadyumna and Draupadi comes. Their thing is to destroy the Kuru dynasties, make Pandavas and Kurus fight each other. Hence, Drishtadyumna is the commander-in-chief of the Pandavas. Draupadi is sent purposefully so that they fight each other and Draupadi becomes the cause of it. This is one version of Mahabharata. And that is why Ashwatthama comes and cuts off Drishtadyumna's head. Drupada and Drishtadyumna is killed by Ashwatthama on the last night, and hence the war ends there. It is actually Drishtadyumna's story. That version also is available. Means in references you find it. It's not that it's available. So different multiple versions we were used to tell the story. So the many Ramayanas book, that's what I am trying to tell. They see the story from Shurpanaga's perspective. They see the story from Tadaga's perspective. Shanta's perspective, which is Ram's elder sister. Ram had an elder sister, Shanta. Her perspective it is told. So India's story is told in various perspectives.
So your book, since you're mentioning the women in the mythology, Valmiki's women, which you have written, you have 5 tales of the women. Who are the lesser talked about women in the mythological world and in our texts? Why did you think that this was relevant and these characters needed to be written about and talked about, and they have to come out in your books?
These characters have been written about a lot of time in classical Indian literature. I'm not the first person doing it. In not just in Sanskrit, but in other classical languages in the south, like Malayalam, Tamil, Kannada, and all this has been written many times. I give a different spin, but Shanta's tale, one of the tale is Shanta's tale, It comes in Ramopakhana of Mahabharata, where Shanta is mentioned. It also comes in the northern recension of Valmiki Ramayana. So when one thing what you have to understand is the Tamil version, Kamba Ramayana, doesn't directly translate the southern version of Valmiki Ramayana. It takes a lot from northern version. Similarly, Tulsidas takes a lot from the southern Sanskrit version of Valmiki Ramayana, not what was prevalent there. So a lot of things you find in what is there in one Ramayana, it is not there in other Ramayana. So Shanta's tale, where Dasharatha had a daughter who was given away to Romapada or Lomapada, both pronunciation comes, so that she will bring Rishyasringa and does the Putragameshti, and thus he will get sons. This version comes spoken about in many places. So what I did was I saw the tale from Chanta's perspective, and the irony of Dasharatha, where he wanted 4 sons, he had 4 sons, but only daughter is there when he is dying. Ultimately, none of the 4 sons who are all Veer, Shur, all of them are away. Ultimately, so that gives a very modern context to it. He did everything to get sons and discriminated against Shanta because he gives her away, which Kaikeyi objects. In many of the Ramayana, Kaikeyi comes from a matrilineal society, and that is why she is very fierce in her argument and assertive, right. Unlike Kausalya and Sumitra. She comes from the land of Ashwapatis, and she was brought up by Mantara. So Mantara is not just a Dasi, random Dasi who comes. And Kaikeyi's backstory also I have written in that. So Kaikeyi's father divorces her mother, one of the first divorces. Divorces Kaikeyi's mother. So that tale comes like this. Ashwapati's, Kaikeyi's father could read horses, birds and all. So he hears one sparrow boasting how he can outfly Garuda and other things while the sparrow is courting a lady sparrow. Generally how many male of the species boast. This sparrow was boasting and this king laughs. Then the sparrow curses him saying that if you tell this to anyone and humiliate me, you will die. So his wife was along with him. Wife insists that he has to tell, why are you laughing? I want to hear. You are thinking about some woman. Big fight happens. He says that if I tell you, I will die, so I won't say it. But right. Wife insists you will have to tell it. So he divorces the wife, and then he selects to bring up. He has one son and daughter. He selects the ugliest possible beggar on the street. That is Mantara, and brings her so that he won't feel any karma towards his Dasi who is looking after his kids. So he gets this Mantara who is very ugly from the streets and brings her, and she pours all her love because first time she is getting somebody to love. She's an orphan. She pours all the love to Kaikeyi. So when you get into the backstories of each character, everyone gets justified. It's so beautifully written. That's why Mantara goes to Kaikeyi and says, if Ram becomes a king, you have been the Pattamahishi so far, you will lose everything,
right?
All the thing. And this Kaikeyi is the one who supports Shanta, teaches her the archery, warrior. She never uses Shanta, all those things, because she becomes the Rishipatni and becomes a big scholar later. So these are the unknown aspects of Ramayana characters which I love to dwell with, and it gives a different flavor to the entire story and makes it more rounded and humane. Like the tale of Tadaka. So Tadaka's tale is a very fascinating one. No, Tadaka is never a Rakshasi. Tadaka is a Yakshini. Tadaka is cursed because Tadaka marries a Gandharva and she is thrown away from her home. And the Gandharva, this person, because he doesn't have, one rainy season, he doesn't have nothing to eat, he gets into the Agastya's ashram and takes whatever is kept there and eats. And Agastya curses him. And in 2 versions are there. One, Agastya's curse, because of curse he dies. Another thing, he tries to run when Agastya catches him and falls into the Havankund and dies. Right. Now, Tadaka has 2 kids. Marija and Subahu, and she doesn't have no way to live. She comes to these people and asks, what you have done is right or wrong. They say, it happened, what can we do? It was an accident. Or we cursed her, depending on the version because he tried to steal the food. She becomes revengeful and she starts attacking, and henceforth she says that no rishi should come here, no havan or nothing. You can't. So those days, if you see during the rituals, they used to sacrifice animals also. So she is Yakshini is a protector of animals, protector of trees and animals. So for her dharma is to protect all those things. She stops the havan. Then she is cursed to become a Rakshasi because she is stopping all the havan. So suddenly she if you just read Ramayana from one side without reading the backstory, she is just a random Rakshasi who comes and creates trouble. But she has a human story. So that is where Ram hesitates when Vishwamitra says shoot her. Ram knows this story. So in Valmiki Ramayana he pauses and asks, is it not adharma to kill a woman? Is it not adharma to kill a person who is trying to protect your people? Then Vishwamitra gives this excuse saying that she is now become an animal because of vengeance and she has lost her discretion. Until she became that and started killing innocents, whatever she was doing had a justification. The moment she does start killing the innocents, she has become the menace to the society. You will definitely have the karma bela for this, for killing the woman. Which is what Rama pays later in his life. So, as a Dharma Purusha, you have to sacrifice, and knowing that you will face problems to that, still you have to do your duty. So, Ram is called a Tyagamurti because of that, not because he just goes and kills all random people and says, I am dharmic. He knows what he is doing could have consequences, and there is an element of adharma in the dharma and dharma in adharma. That nuances is what they bring. So Ram knows he will pay for it, still he kills for the benefit of everyone. Loka Kalyanartham, he does it. When he does it, that karma vela gets attached to him, and the same Marija comes, the karma vela attacks, and Sita is taken away. So it's a chain reaction. Every time he does a karma for the good of it, another karma vela comes. So it's a constant argument about, so this is where the rishis want you to pause and think, whatever action you are doing, there will be a karma vela attached to it, and you will have to consciously take an action knowing that, okay, I may pay a price for it, but my duty is like an intruder is in your house, you have to protect your husband or wife or kids or your father or mother, you are killing the intruder. Right. There is a consequence to that action. You will have to go to the court, you have to prove it has been done to self-defense. There is no action is without consequences. But what is your dharma at that time? It is to protect your people. It becomes like that. Now intruder will have a story. He has come because he doesn't have anything to eat. He is trying to protect someone. So this constant debate is what makes this Puranic literature so interesting.
So our mythological universe is so huge and the expanse so great that I think we'll not have enough time talking about all the characters you have written about. But I really want to talk about your recent book, Many Ramayanas, Many Lessons. What you are talking about, like there are so many characters which have been written about again and again. You have tried to do that in your books and it's resonated with your readers and the industry. But really, what is this book about? Is it many Ramayanas with the change of geography, the change of society, the change of cultures? This epic has evolved, improved, or what's happening in this book? Let's talk about this book.
Basically, dharma changes as per sthala, kala, and samuha. It changes as per the society, the place, the time. What is dharma in Treta Yuga need not be dharma now. So what has Ramayana happened is it went through different geographies, it evolved itself. So it changed according to the place. So what you find in Tulsi Ramayana, you won't find in the Malayalam Ramayana because the society was different. Right. I face this, Subrat might be aware of it. Sometimes when we do the show, we do it television show for the Hindi audience. Basically, Hindi we are doing, it's the biggest audience. The culture in the North India has changed a lot from the classical culture of what Ramayana was written. A simple example I am putting. Marriages are done in the night in many parts of North India. There's a reason for it because during the invasions, If you do it in the daytime, the invaders used to catch the bride and take, so it was secretly done in the night. That could be the historical reason. But in Ramayana, the marriage is in the daytime. In the south, it always happens in the daytime. So when I was doing Srimad Ramayan, I am familiar with my marriage happened during the daytime. I am familiar with the rituals. We still follow most of the rituals which is there during the Ramayana times. It has not changed much because these historical issues have not happened. The channel objected, everybody objected, saying that no, why are you showing it in the daytime? Why is a ritual like this? Why there is no mehendi? This is a Persian culture, no? It is never there in the. So many things have changed. Whether another simple example, I don't want to go into nuanced dharmic explanation. Simple things. You cover the hair or not? I don't know how about it is in Odisha. I don't think you will be covering the hair when you are going to the temple. Huh?
We cover.
You cover it? Cover the hair when you are going to the temple?
Yeah.
In the south, covering the hair is considered as a humiliation to God. Hair has to be open and you cannot wear any
Veil or nothing.
male or female, you cannot wear any pagdi or turban. So say when Sail Singh was Indian president, when he came to Guruvayur temple, which is like Puri in the south, Sail Singh cannot enter. Sikhs can enter, but Sail Singh cannot enter because he has to remove the pagdi. But the Buddhist Prime Minister of Sri Lanka can come. Sail Singh cannot enter because he was Indian president cannot enter, Sri Lankan president can enter. Why? Because covering of hair is an Islamic practice which got a part of the rituals in the places where the Islamic rule had come. Whereas you go and see the sculptures, you go to the temples in Puri or Khajuraho, what is the dress of the people? How many of them are covering the hair? The common people, the procession. Today also I had gone to Lingaraj temple, there are beautiful carving of procession. Male and female, all of them are naked in the top part of the body. That was a dress because it's a hot country. Forget covering the hair. So where did this evolve? This evolved from because of the historical reason in part of things. So the Sita in Tulsi Ramayan is more like I don't want to create a controversy, but the values associated to her is nothing to do with Valmiki Ramayana's bold Sita. The demure Sita of Tulsidas Ramayana is a product of the times. So she is behaving like a obedient wife of medieval India of Islamic days only in the Ramayans of the north. In Valmiki Ramayana, she is bold. In South Indian Ramayana, she is very bold. In Shaktaya Ramayans, she is someone who kills Ravan, not Ram. Those two versions are there. So this is what I am dealing with. One version is Sita herself kills Ram. Another version is Ram becomes very arrogant, saying that I killed Ravan. Then Sita smiles and suddenly another Ravan comes called Sahasramukha Ravan, a Ravan with 1,000 head. And he defeats Ram, Lakshman, Hanuman, everyone. And finally, Sita, who is Shakti, Adivira Shakti, it's a Shaktaya Ramayana, right? So she is superior to that. Sita takes a bow and arrow, fights and kills him easily, cutting off all the 1,000 heads. So the Ramayana ends with Sita's victory. These kind of Ramayans are, so I am dealing with all those things because this was created by a society which worshipped. Basically, maybe Odisha has forgotten it, but basically it came from the eastern part of the country. This Shaktaya Ramayana, Bengal, Odisha, Andhra, this part of the country was sometime before popular, where the Tantric Shaktaya Ramayana was popular before Vaishnavism took over. When the Tantricism and Shaktaya cult was more popular, this was a Ramayana which was prevalent. So many Ramayanas deals with all these things. So there are Ramayanas in which Hanuman has multiple wives, Thai Ramayana. Maybe the problem of Thailand, I don't know. So Hanuman, who is a Naishtika Brahmachari for all of us, it's a shock when you encounter it. But that is their culture. They have written it according to that. So for them, he is like a conquering hero whose charm cannot be resisted by any women. So they have written it like that. So it has changed as per there is Muslim Ramayans, where all of them do namaz, pray to Allah. There is Catholic Ramayans in Philippines, where they attend mass before the war. The God is commanding it. Like that you find so many, there is Buddha, uh, Bauddha Ramayans in which Sita is a sibling of Ram. They are not the, she's a sister of Ram, and they are the kings and queens of Varanasi and not Ayodhya. I am not saying this is the right version or wrong version. It is in the Vimalasuris and the other Jaina Ramayanas where Sita is, first time it appears as Sita as a daughter of Ravan, which gets followed up in lot of South Indian Ramayans and the Eastern Indian Ramayans. So Mini Ramayana is a book which stitches together all these things and try to give you a wholesome perspective, not claiming that this is a right Ramayana and whatever you have believed is wrong. No.
So,
the idea is to talk about the diversity of Ramayana, how it has evolved.
diversity it is, but then also the eternal question, the right version or the wrong version or the real version. So
The real version is the
deal with
version
that?
you choose to believe. Because that is the difference between Hinduism and the Abrahamic religion. There is no the book. Bhagavad Gita is not the book of, is not the Bible equivalent of Hinduism. Bhagavad Gita is, there are thousands of Gitas in our Shastras. That's what Vivekananda said. We have a whole library, not one book. So Bhagavad Gita is for Vaishnavas. It became the book because during the freedom struggle, Renaissance movement, we felt that we don't have the book. So people started telling, so people started finding the meanings which they want. Gandhi found ahimsa in Bhagavad Gita. Can you imagine it? Great respect for Gandhi, but so Osho said it rightly. Or what is Gita? Osho said that it is like the ink thrown on the wall. You can, whatever you want to see, you will see in it. You will see ahimsa in it. You will see casteism if you look at through that. You will see Advaita in it. You will see Sankhya in it. You will see Vaishnavism in it. You will see Shaivism in it. You will see whatever you want in that. And Gita is one among many books. Similarly, Valmiki Ramayana itself, at least 3 versions we have found out. And the southern rendition has almost 30% more. Because you have seen the South films, we exaggerate more. So a lot of exaggerations are there in the South Indian, more magical things are there in the South Indian version of, I'm not talking about Tamil, Telugu Ramayana, I'm talking about Sanskrit, Valmiki Ramayana, southern versions is different from the northern version or the eastern versions.
right, right.
So which is the authentic Valmiki Ramayana? Then the question comes, so all are in Sanskrit, and Sanskrit is not just written in the Devanagari. Sanskrit was written in various scripts. So which one is the authentic one? Nandanagiri they had written. They had written Sanskrit in Manipravala. They had written Sanskrit in Malayalam scripts, Telugu script like how you write English. You write Hindi with English script. No, same way with different script you can write Sanskrit. So there are also version to version there are differences. So which is the authentic question? The answer is the authentic question is the one you want to believe. If you don't like anything, write your own Ramayana.
Do help us out when you find the right version too. Anand, we're reaching the end of this conversation, and I really want to talk about your non-fiction book, The Asura Way, The Contrarian Path to Success. Correct me if I'm wrong. In this, you actually become a life coach. You are telling us in the way of living in this Kali Yuga. Is that correct? What does this book tell us?
So I am arguing, my purpose of writing Asura Way is, a scam has been played on all of us in the last 100, 200 years, especially it started with the British time. They didn't want Indians to rebel, they didn't want Indians to achieve anything, so they branded us as a spiritual civilization. And we also caught that, because any nonsense we can say that it is spiritual. If Kashi is filthy, we can say it's a spiritual city, let it be filthy. Ganga is filthy, you have to feel the vibe. That is why it is filthy, don't mind the filth. So big scam. We are a spiritual civilization, no doubt, but we are the greatest materialistic civilization. See the great temples we built, whether in Odisha or Tamil Nadu or Andhra or Kerala or Gujarat, the great temples we built, they are thriving with materialism. The procession of the gods is full of materialism, right? With gold, this thing, you name it. All the godmen, they are going in their own private jets and talking about be spiritual, be happy with what you want, and riding BMW bikes and other things. You know who I am talking about. All these sad and happy gurus do that, right? So these things, they are selling spirituality to get materialistic wealth. So the Asura Way is asserting that it is all right to have some anger because it is a human emotion. It is all right to have ambition. Never be contented in life. Imagine all of us, the first man or first woman was contented. We will be living naked in a cave or a tree, right? It's from the discontentment the human civilization rose. All the invention you find, it comes from discontentment. You are not, your voice has to reach, you invented the mic. Your light, your candle is not enough, you invented it. From the discontentment, the civilization grows. So if somebody is telling me be contented, they are trying to suppress your growth. Whether it is your parents or the gurus, always tell that it is always about ambition, always about, you have to control it. Too much of anything is bad, too much of spirituality is bad, too much of materialism is also bad. That is why they talked about the Purushartha. They talk about the balance of Dharma, Artha, Kama and Moksha. These are like 4 legs of a chair. You are telling only Moksha is important, then you go to Himalayas and do the sannyas. If you are living here, doing a job, earning a salary, why do they pay salary? Because your job is so, it sucks, it's bad, that's why they do salary. No, whatever you love to do, you'll do it for free. You are being paid salary because it's bad. So you are living in a Kali Yuga, in a materialistic world where you do a job you hate, live with a person you don't care, give, no, I do care, but I'm saying generally, that's the hollowness of it, because you try to justify it saying that this is life, we have to be happy with what we have. No. That was not the way of Indians. That's why we celebrate Lakshmi, we celebrate Kubera, we celebrate the wealth. And what a beautiful meaning for the wealth. It is called Artha. Artha has 2 meanings. It has to be meaningful. The wealth you take has to be meaningful, based on Dharma. But at the same time, it is wealth also. Artha has a meaning of wealth, prosperity also. So the people who designed it, talked about it, they lived in a civilization which celebrated everything. So we wrote Kama Sutra to celebrate Kama. We wrote Artha Shastra to celebrate polity and economics. We wrote the Dharma Shastra to celebrate the spiritual side of it. We talked about moksha only at the time of sannyas. It's a journey. You don't do the shortcut unless you want to live off others. That's what most of the people on spiritualism are doing now. So that is a calling only for a few people. Imagine all of us become spiritual. People will say, what happens? All of us become materialistic. You will become like America, not a bad thing. Imagine everybody becomes spiritual. All our Naga sadhus running around naked in this place. What is a better option? I would rather prefer to be in America if that is the case. I don't want to run around naked. That's not my kind of spiritualism. So, Asura way is trying to bring back the balance, saying that India is not don't believe in this scam. Have spirituality, bhakti and all as an orientation, as a stick, if you are feeling weak to walk. But if you are strong enough to stand in 2 legs, when you become old, that's why old people went for spirituality. Now concentrate on creating artha, the wealth. Base it on dharma, do the artha, and how have kama, enjoy life. Kama is not just about sex. Kama is about enjoying the life, enjoying every moment of life. So that is the Asura way, where you base it on dharma, artha and kama. When you want to get moksha, when you are 80, 90 years old, that is the time when they are telling you should take sannyas. If you go by the shastras, only when your grandkids are married, you are supposed to go to vanaprastha, and then after that, sannyas. So that's the last stage. This is what is for the purusharthas, for main, all the common people like us. Unless you feel you are Buddha and are going to get the next enlightenment, this is Asura way is the way, is my argument.
Yeah, your argument, I think, resonates with the audience here, and I'm sure they're going to grab a copy of the lessons, the Asura way to happiness and success. One last question. I've been told the session has ended.
Any questions from the audience?
Yeah, we must take. And also, I wanted to ask about the, you've written so much, the Asura tales, to reach out to the kids also, to the children also. Was that challenging enough? While you are answering, please raise your hand and we'll take some questions if you all have. Yeah.
Children's literature is very tough to write. They don't take bullshit. So adult literature, when you find you have run out of story, you can go into philosophy and say this, that. People say, wow, what an intelligent man. You have to just do it. Children won't accept any of these things. The story has to be pure. So that's why our kids are the first readers, and they will say it is trash, it is trash. Well, my kids are grown, so her kids are the people, first they will read it and say it's good. If they say good only, I publish it. They are the test dose actually.
So it is challenging to write children's books for children, you're saying, but Well, the way you have brought mythology to current times, it's really, really so relevant. You make it so relevant when we read it, when we talk about it. Any questions in the audience you want to interact? G.
नमस्कार सर।
नमस्कार।
हॉस्पिटल में हम लोग द्वापर और त्रेता युग में आ जाते हैं, बहुत अच्छा लगता है। मुझे नहीं लगता कि आप कोई लिटरेरी प्रोफेशन में हैं, हमको ऐसा लगता है कि हम वाल्मीकि या वेदव्यास के सामने बैठे हैं। तो मैं ये जानना चाहूंगा कि हर भाषा में रामायण को रामायण ही कहा गया है या किसी भाषा में सीतायन या रावणायन भी कहा गया है?
सीतायन है, बहुत सारे से रामायण को रामायण ही कहते हैं, लेकिन एक्चुअली वो आप पढ़े तो वो सीतायन ही है और पढ़े तो रावणायन ही है नाम, क्योंकि रामायण एक ब्रांड है ना, तो रामायण ही बोलते हैं लोग व्हेनेवर दे रोट। सर क्या है ना, मेनी ऑफ द स्टोरीज व्हिच आर टेकन दे आर नॉट पूर्ण रामायण, दे आर लाइक a of Ramayana, here this happened and you have a story with that. So you have stories where like in one of the Kannada folktale how Sita is born when Ravan sneezes, from his nose she is born. So that's why she is called Sita, sneezing. So like that, in Wayanad, जिधर मेरा एक farm house है, I am retiring there and leaving Bombay. Next week I will be going back to Wayanad. Wayanad has its own Ramayana. In that, Adivasis have their own Ramayana where everything is there. Okay, so it's very funny because they wrote it down only 60, 70 years ago. Otherwise, it was oral. But 200 years ago, Britishers came. So already tea estate, coffee estate, it's a hill station. South Nilgiris, it's a tea estate, coffee estate, and all that come. So Ravan comes and tells Sita, I have so many acres of coffee estate. Why don't you come to me? In the song, even that has been captured. I got so many coffee estate. I sell a lot of coffee. Instead of telling I have so much wealth, no, because the oral tradition keeps on changing. So they believe the Valmiki's ashram was in Wayanad. The river which flows, which is very pure water it has, it is Sita's tears. There is a temple where I have written it in Outlook Traveler last month's Outlook Traveler about this. There is a temple called Lavakush Temple where one tree is there, only 2 flowers come every day which is used for puja. Every day, irrespective of the season, that has 2 flowers. I don't know how it happens. And these Adivasis do puja. They have Valmiki ashram there. So like this, you have Ramayana has been localized everywhere, and the things they are talking about, like in the Telugu folk Ramayana, they talk about the difficulty Sita is going to have when she goes to, this is women have written it, when she is going to her mother-in-law's place. So before the marriage, the entire stress is on what all you should do, what all mother-in-law, how to trick the mother-in-law so that you can have a good time with your husband, how to show that these things, all those things like their concerns, no, that becomes the core part of Ramayana. Not, they don't care about Raman and other things. They use it as a tool. So every day after writing, I would have encountered more Ramayana so that when I am writing the second edition or third edition of the book, more I will have to add. It continuously evolves.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. G. Yeah, please.
Yeah, so we know that Ravana was very powerful. So is it really true that Ravana has been treated as God in Sri Lanka? If yes, can you please elaborate?
See, in all Shiva temple, you find the Murti of Ravan. It used to be there in north also, but most of the temples were destroyed. By the time they had started rebuilding the temples, Tulsidas Ramayana had come and the Ravan's character had changed. Otherwise, Ravan is considered as the Paramabhakta of Shiva. So mostly it is about the Kailasa Dharan of Ravan. You find that in many temples in South India and outside India, where Ravan is trying to lift the Kailas. And so Ravan is worshipped across, Ravan is Jaya actually, if you really see. Who was Ravan? Ravan is the body, the Dwarapalaka of Vishnu. So the Ramayana starts with a curse of Sanagada Kumaras. They are given the choice of whether 7 lives as Bhakt or 3 lives or 100 lives as Bhakt. Both versions are there. 100 lives of like Andhabhakt, 100 lives, or enemy of Vishnu in 3 lives. At that time itself they are told किसी का अंधभक्त भगवान का भी अंधभक्त बनना उतना अच्छा नहीं है. So they chose not to be andhabhakt, they chose to be the enemy. So it is Jaya who becomes Ravan. So he is Vishnu's Dwarapalak and Paramabhakt, If you go by the Purana, and he is Shiva's Bhakt because Vishnu himself is Shiva's Bhakt, Shiva himself is Vishnu's Bhakt. So this way they are integrated. So Ravan, in wherever the old temples are there, Ravan was never considered as somebody evil. So there is no Ravan Dahan in the south. The Ravan Dahan happens only in the places where Mughals had ruled. So it was symbolic of the Mughal rule. The Ravan was considered as a symbolic of the Mughal rule, and then the tradition starts. For us, the Dasara is Saraswati Puja. It has got nothing to do with Rama or Ravan. It's about the Puja of Saraswati in Kerala, Lakshmi in Maharashtra. Depends on the place. You can see the nature also, no? And Durga in Calcutta, the same Dasara. Diwali is Naragasura killing, nothing to do with Ram coming to Ayodhya. Same festival, but Diwali is Naragasura Vada. That's Krishna killed Naragasura, and that's why Diwali is celebrated. That's the diversity of India.
One last question, yeah. Good.
Jai Jagannath.
So I'm a Indian, but I'm a strong believer of Lord Jagannath. So with childhood, we used to watch Mahabharata. So the Mahabharata starts with the sloka, like Yada Yada hi dharmasya glanirnihoti bharat. So that is the sloka. As per my understanding, the meaning is when adharma rises, so then Lord comes into the earth and it takes part to protect dharma and to kill the others. I agree on that part. Somewhere else, he again said, Sarva dharmam parityajya mamikam saranam. So he is asking our faith, just forget about karma and all, just come to me. I will give you moksha, kind of moksha. So one place he is saying, karma is the master of everything. So I am protecting karma. And one place he is saying dharma is nothing from me. So that is controversial.
It's not a controversial actually. These are in two different contexts. So basically what he is doing, it is one marga where he talks about various margas. So he starts with the materialistic marga in Bhagavad Gita. He talks about you kill, you will get Veera Surga. He is talking pure materialism. Then he goes to Sankhya, then he goes to Bhakti Yoga. So in Bhakti Yoga is what he says. So basically what it means, simplify, it's a long subject, a whole day subject, but basically with my limited understanding, what is this is dharma, whichever way you define dharma, the karma bala will be attached to it. So one of the debate is how to get rid of the cycle of karma. So the sloka of idam na mama comes. I am doing it, not thinking about me. This is on the name of the God I am doing it. This is not my karma. So that is why I am not bothered about the result. Result will definitely be there. I am doing it just for the sake of doing it. I will get the karma bala for it. Krishna also got the karma bala. All the Yadavas died fighting each other and the Dwaraga also went down. But he doesn't care. So he is saying in the Bhakti Marga, leave everything to me so that you won't worry. There will be definitely karma will be there. I am the one who burns the karma bala because you are dedicating everything to me. And whatever happens, I will be there as your anchor. I am inside you. So in that context of bhakti, he tells us, Sarva Dharmam Parityajya, he is telling it. Just trust in me. Don't get into the nuances of what is dharma or what is not dharma, because that is something that Bhishma also says in Mahabharata, Dharmasya Tattvam Nidam Guhaya. Dharma is so subtle that it lives in the dark caves of human mind. You don't know what is right and what is wrong. You are thinking it is right. Who knows whether it is right or wrong? So to avoid this confusion, he is telling, just do it. It is the God who is making me do. This one method is just Bhakti Marga. Bhakti Marga is not for everyone. It's very tough Marga because always our ego comes and we think that we know what is right and we will do it. Because life becomes so boring. Everything happens by itself. There is no excitement in life. So that's why I say Asura Marga is also a good Marga. One in the modern context. Because Bhakti Marga, you need that kind of innocence. It's not a wrong method. You need that kind of innocence and that kind of indifference. Perhaps the life could go boring. My argument is that it is all part of life. Good, bad, ugly, sadness, happiness, everything is a part of life. Enjoy it. That's a Charvaga Mada or Asura Marga. There are different Margas. They were all called Darshanas for a reason. They are not Dharma. Darshana is looking at things. The way you look at things is not the way I look at things. What So you experiment with all. Some days that's what Ramakrishna Paramahamsa did, that's what Gandhi did. They experimented with various things. Some days I try to do that. Sometimes I am a bhakta, I go to all temples. Sometimes I think these are all just stones. What bullshit I am doing. I don't go for temples for one year, 2 years. So Ramakrishna Paramahamsa gave a good example in an argument with Vivekananda, where Vivekananda asks, Vivekananda mocks the idol worship. So he says, first thing what you want is karuna, compassion. Karuna towards yourself, to everyone. That's what Buddha also says. So bhakti is like you are weak, you want a stick. You are blind, you want a stick. You are, so like a small child needs a pram to walk. Many people need that thing of bhakti. That is where the sloka comes. You may have grown out of it. You are strong enough now. You believe in yourself. You don't need bhakti. So you don't need to go to temple. That's why there is no compulsion that Sunday you don't come, you will go to hell. You don't come to temple for 20 years, it doesn't matter. You feel weak, you take medicine. So Swami Chinmayananda says, who wants religion? Only the rascals want religion. Swami Chinmayananda's quote. Nice, good people don't need any religion. Only when your mind is weak and you start doing nonsense, then you come to Guru and you come to religion, you go to temple. So if you feel you have not done any sin, no point in going and dipping yourself in the polluted Ganga.
Thinking is actually Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. You are in darkness. You do not see the light.
It's okay. It's about you think you see the light, you go in that path. That's all. That's what I precisely.
Everybody should be in the darkness.
No, I am saying precisely that's the point I am saying,
The
sir.
light, just the light. Temple is a light.
Yeah.
Go to that, you will be enlightened.
When you want light, you go.
Brings darkness to
Sure. We could go about.
I am not talking about everyone.
all. Go to prayer.
Will you allow me to talk or will you keep talking? You please come here and talk, sir.
We can go on with the debate off the stage, Anand. We have to.
I am telling, going to temple, when you are weak, you can go to temple. Those who want, you should go, they should go to temple. Those who don't want, all darshanas are there.
Don't tell everybody not to go to temple.
Right.
I think there is a comprehension.
Sorry. We are just talking about
I
the
can
book.
say only my personal opinion. I can't
Right.
tell your personal
And
opinion,
so-
right?
Yeah, we have to really break for lunch. I think that's what the organizers are telling us. Anand,
Yeah,
we are
yeah,
waiting
no
for your
issue.
next book. But
Yeah,
for
thank
now,
you very much. Thank you.
for success and happiness, the Asura way is what Anand has said
Thank
in
you.
his book. Thank you so much. Thank you for this conversation.
Thank you for the insightful discussion by Anand Neelakantan sir and expert moderation by Siktadev ma'am. We appreciate their valuable time and expertise. As a token of gratitude, I invite Soumya Prakash Chaudhary of KLF to present the citations to them.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It's a pleasure for all of us, sir. Welcome to Professor Desha. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for everyone. Yeah. Team members, my team members, please can come to the stage, please. My team members, please. Haji.
Can this be sent to my room?
1 on 5. You can keep it now. So we'll
You're leaving?
come.
I'll be doing it in the evening. Thank you. Thank you.